Shikantis is one of the many colossi from the book. It is Shikantis, he who knows the end. And our description of Shikantis is that this crystalline beetle's wing beats rain down deadly shards onto the ground, and his abdomen can vibrate at high frequencies, shattering even stone. Motives and tactics: agitate, dice, disorient. So this is a giant beetle. We've decided on the size. That hasn't changed from last week. About 200 feet long, about 150 feet wide. So not quite built like a ladybug, but, you know, more fat than the normal beetle. Segments. We have 2 crystal wings, the hind wings, 2 chitinous wings, the forewings, the head, the abdomen, the tail, 2 forelegs, 2 mid-legs, and 2 hind legs. And we'll get into what all of those do fairly soon. It has an experience of darting attack, an experience of dodge, which might help it with anything that requires a reaction roll. And it has he has an experience of shatter +3. So we want to build a gigantic beetle that can fly, rain down crystal shards from the sky, and create this huge buzzing effect that will do damage in a wide area. So it's got 2 big area attacks up front. So features: Shikantis can fly unless one of its hind wings is destroyed, and while flying, each of its segments' difficulty gets a +2 bonus against creatures who are not currently on Shikantis. So it's a little bit harder to hit when it's flying. We kept that from the last build. And then its next feature is aerial maneuvers. So I can spend 2 fear while Shikantis is flying to make a series of loops and dodges, and any PC that is on Shikantis will have to make an agility or strength reaction roll to avoid falling off. So they can either use their innate balance to stay on or grab onto the beast and hold on that way. So let's get into its segments. We start out, obviously, it's got a head. His head is adjacent to his abdomen. It has a difficulty of 16 and 6 hit points, which is quite a lot. I looked at the other Colossus at this tier, the example Colossus in the book. Most of that Colossus's segments had like 5 hit points or 4 hit points. So this might be a little bit difficult, and we might end up scaling this back. He has an attack with his head of +2. These are the pincers of the mouth. Can only attack from very close. Does a lot of damage, 3d10 +5. Targeting, passive. The features of the head are that if Shikantis attacks at disadvantage if the head is destroyed. So this beetle, like a lot of insects, can survive without its head for a short period of time. So it will continue to attack even if it's headless. Probably it would be good to put some kind of a countdown on here, but I think we'll just go with that. The head is armored. It does not take minor damage. To do any damage to the head, we're going to have to beat the thresholds, which for this one are pretty big. It's 22 and 43. So, and he has 6 stress that he can take. So, pretty solid there. Death from above. The head is resistant to all damage while Shikantis is flying. And grab, that was an action. You can spend fear after making a successful pincers attack to grab the target of the attack. So this is like the pincers crunch down even harder. While grabbed and held in the pincers, the target is within melee range of the head and is vulnerable to the pincer attack. So it can continue to make this attack and crush anything that it has in its mouth. And of course, if it releases anything while it's flying, the target must make a successful agility or instinct reaction roll or fall to the ground. So, we're allowing for a little bit of flexibility in how characters are able to save themselves. Is it their innate speed, or is it just their read of the situation that enables them to stop from falling? Now we get to the thorax. The thorax is adjacent to the head, the forelegs, the hind legs, the abdomen, the forewings, the hind wings, and the mid legs, which I don't have on this list. And I'm going to put that in there right now. Let's go into editing mode. Mid legs. Okay. Forewings and hind wings. So the thorax is central. It's connected to everything. Features: when the thorax is destroyed, Shikantis is defeated. But its other feature is that it is protected. This is a passive ability as well. Passive feature: the thorax cannot be climbed or attacked unless Shikantis is flying or both wings on either side. So both a forewing and a hind wing on one side are destroyed. So the idea here is that when Shikantis is on the ground, like a ladybug, it folds its wings in and it folds its forewings over the top of both its wings and its abdomen, forming this protective shell around the entire creature, around the entire Colossus. And so the thorax is the thing. So one of the recommendations when it talks about building Colossuses is that Colossi is that you make it more than just a big bag of hit points. You make it something that has to be strategically attacked, where the players can, through research or innate knowledge, find some way to take on this creature besides just hitting it a bunch of times. And so here, they're going to have to kind of make a decision, are they going to, concentrate fire on a wing to try and take that out, or are they going to try to take out its weapons, its forelegs and its abdomen, to make it, more difficult to give it less attacks? We don't know. The next segment that we have is the forewing. It's adjacent to the thorax. It has a difficulty of 15 and 6 hit points. And it's armored. Again, the forewings, the chitinous cover around the creature does not take minor damage. It only takes major or severe damage. So it has to be hit very hard in order to make any damage, and it has to be hit at least 3 times. So that might be too much. I may need to drop this down to 4 hit points, but we'll see how our heroes do when we get to the combat. In addition to its forewings that create that cover around it, it has its hind wings, which allow it to fly. These are also adjacent to the thorax. They have a difficulty of 17 because if they're exposed, they're moving. And they only have 4 hit points each. They are protected. While Shikantis is not flying, a hind wing is protected from all attacks by its corresponding forewing. So one of the forewings is closed over it. You can't attack that hind wing. Rain of Glass. This is from the description in the book. We're now going to bring in this feature to where while Shikantis is flying, we can spend a couple of fear and activate both of the hind wings and create this rain of crystal glass to strike the ground. So anywhere within far range of where Shikantis is at the moment. And any PC is in the area has to make an agility roll or take a bunch of damage, 3d10 plus 5. And I'm going to have Shikantis clear a stress when it does its Rain of Glass action, and why will become clear when we get to the abdomen. It's got a couple of forelegs. These are its primary striking weapons. They can strike at a very close range, and they do 3d12 plus 6 damage. We've bumped this down from last time when we tried to fight Chikantis. We had him doing 3d12 plus 12 damage. Dropping this down just a little bit, but I wanted to keep those 3d12s to make this a very dangerous weapon. I lowered the difficulty from 17 to 15 and gave it hit points, dropped its hit points from 6 to 4. So the forelegs can be attacked and taken out a little bit more easily now, and that might be a strategy that would be wise to employ. We also took away, we did have a 4-wing attack, which was like kind of a slash, and I felt like that just didn't make sense biomechanically, and instead we've substituted this attack from the hind legs. Also adjacent to the thorax, difficulty of 14, hit points of 4, plus 0 on its attack, and this is a stomp from very close, so it can use its hind legs to kind of stomp around and crush people. The features on this one are that it is grounded, so we can't make this stomp attack while we're flying. Once we're flying, the legs are tucked up. They don't do any striking. The hind legs don't. They can only do stomps on the ground. And if both of the hind legs are destroyed, Chikantis only has its mid legs and can no longer remain upright and becomes immobile unless it's flying. Same thing is true of the mid legs, which have a lower difficulty, no attack, and 4 hit points. And then we get to the abdomen. So the abdomen is adjacent to the thorax, difficulty of 16, hit points of 6. And this is our deadly hum action. This is where the thorax vibrates. And for this mechanic, I wanted to do something other than just spend fear. So here we're going to mark some amount of stress, X stress, to cause the abdomen to vibrate. And all targets within far range are affected by the noise, and they take XD20, which might be too much, plus X physical damage. So if I spend 2 stress, that's 2d20 of damage plus 2, 3 stress, 3d20 of damage plus 3. Or half as much on a successful presence reaction roll. We don't use presence for combat reaction rolls a lot, so I thought I'd throw it in there. And so this is why we want that Rain of Glass to refill stress, so that this is a refillable resource, a way for Chikantis to spend on this vibration and be able to build back its stress. Use this option twice without becoming vulnerable. It can use its wing attack to drop off from vulnerability. Targets who fail in the reaction roll, which will be a difficulty 16 reaction roll, of course, presence. While disoriented, all action reaction rolls are made at disadvantage. So the stress of hearing this horrifying humming noise, disorients the targets. Everything they do is at advantage, or is at disadvantage, until they spend a hope. So as long as you have a hope, that's okay, but if you don't have a hope, you're doomed. And will be attacking at disadvantage. So that is our build for Chikantis.